Hey folks, I am Kevin Iole. Thank you for joining me on September 20th in Dublin, Ireland. And it has been a long time since there was a big fight in Dublin. My next guest will be in action Callum Walsh, the young rising star boxer, the super welterweight who has been looking so good, who has been taken under the wing of Dana White. He will return to fight for the first time as a professional. How about that? In his homeland of Dublin, Ireland. He's fighting. Now, I am a writer, not a broadcaster, right? So I'm going to say Przemyslaw Runowski. And let's hope we got that closer right, because I like to pronounce people's names correctly. Callum, welcome. How are you, my friend?
Thanks very much for having me. Yeah, I'm all good. All good.
So, when's the last time you fought in Ireland? Obviously, as an amateur, do you remember the tournament when you were competing?
Yeah, my last fight here in Ireland was 2020 in the Elite Championships. I lost in the final. It would have been to go to the qualifiers for the Olympics. So that was my last fight here in Ireland, was actually in Dublin, and I lost. So coming back in September, getting that win will feel good.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing. I think for people who don't know your story, you've been fighting on UFC Fight Pass, and the story is really getting out there. But for people who don't know your story, tell exactly why you went to the U.S. and sort of how difficult it was at the beginning, because it's pretty remarkable. You were, 20 years old when you came to the United States, left home pretty much with nothing. That's pretty remarkable. Can you explain that briefly?
Yeah, so I was actually 19 years old trying to qualify for the. Actually, I was 18 years old trying to qualify for the Olympics. I lost, like I just said, in the final of the Elite Championships. Then I was 19 and COVID hit, and all the gyms were shut down in Ireland. There was nothing happening. I was just working, and I was doing no training, And then I heard that the gyms in Los Angeles were open, and I'd been to the wild card with Freddie Roach before when I was like 15. I went there for a photo. So I always wanted to go over and train there, and then this opportunity came around to go to LA and train. So at the time, Ireland was a banned country for travel to the US. So I had to go to Mexico and quarantine there for 2 weeks. So I actually spent my 20th birthday in Mexico in quarantine, and
Wow.
then I tried to get over the border twice and I got sent back. And then the third time I flew in, and that's when I showed up at the wildcat to Freddie Roach, and he made me spar on my first day, and I've been there ever since.
So you had to have a lot of belief in yourself. And for a young person, were there doubts along the way, Callum, as you're trying to get in one country or another? Like, do you start saying, screw this, maybe I should just go home and wait this out?
That I didn't really mind. The worst thing that was going to happen is I was just going to go home, and just continue doing what I was doing. That was the worst case scenario for me, was just go back and just do what I was doing anyway. So I didn't really mind, taking a chance and seeing whether I was going to get in or not. It didn't really matter to me, because the worst thing that was possibly going to happen is I was just going to go home.
Right.
That was the worst thing. But lucky enough, it all went to plan, and I took a big risk, I suppose, and it's paid off. Look where I am now.
So yeah, you're sitting here 11-0 with 9 KOs. You're fighting Runowski, who is 22-2 with one draw, 6 knockouts. A guy a lot more experienced than you. He's been in there with some good people. He has fought names you might know: Samuel Vargas, Michael McKisson. So guys that people might know. McKisson fought Virgil Ortiz, of course. So this is a guy that has been around a while. What kind of fight do you expect from him?
Yeah, since the start of my career, I've always said I'll fight anybody, and I want tough fights. I want to take the best fights, and I want to prove how good I am, and I want to see myself how good I really am. So there was no point coming back here to Ireland in front of the Irish crowd with Dana White and Freddie Roach in my corner and Tom Loeffler, and taking an easy fight, and blowing away an opponent in 30 seconds, and people are coming to pay for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's when I said, look, give me. Well, I didn't. I said I wanted. I always said I wanted tough fights, but I think this is when they realized, right, we're going to Ireland. We have Dana White, Freddie Roach. We need to show the Irish people that these people are not behind me for no reason. There's a reason that these people are helping my career. That these names are behind me. So taking a tough fight against a tough opponent is going to be very good for me. To go in and make a statement. He's never been stopped before. So I'm looking forward to going in there and trying to finish him, you know. And if I do finish him, it will be a big thing for my career, you know. I'll be the first person to stop him, and I think it will be a big statement here in Dublin.
I think there's an interesting parallel with you and Conor McGregor, because I think it was about 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, that he went back to Dublin, Ireland to fight Diego Brandao. And that was kind of the fight that I think a lot of people said, okay, this guy is legit, right? You know, when, Brandao was the toughest guy he had fought up until that point, and he blew him out. I think that was a big thing. Would you say that Runowski is the toughest guy you're facing?
Yeah, I would say so in terms of his record. You know, he's never been finished, and you know that's what it's all about, really. You know, coming back to Ireland and making a statement. You know, against a tough opponent and showing people that I am the real deal. You know, it's different when I'm over in LA or I'm over in New York. You know, and people are watching it through a screen. You know, it's not really taking much
Right.
time, and you know, but when they're actually paying money, they're showing up to the arena. You know, they want to see if I actually am. Then they're paying close attention because they're there. You know what I mean? So I think it's good for me. You know, if I can go in there and blow him away, people will realize, right, he is the real deal. You know, this guy has been in there with some names, and no one could finish him. And if I can, it'll be very good for my career.
You know, in the U.S., you've gotten media attention because of your relationship with Dana White, but certainly nothing like it's going to be when you're in Ireland, right? And the Irish people love their fighting, and they love the Irish who fight, right? So, one thing that Conor was so good at was handling all that pressure and dealing with all that. Are you concerned at all about what you're going to face in the next month in terms of the media demands on your time and your ability to handle that and perform at your optimum level?
You know, I'm not too worried. You know, I've never been too worried about doing too much media or doing. You know, I understand that it's all part of it. You know, it's part of selling the fight, and people want to know who they're watching too. You know, so it's I understand that it's important. So I enjoy most of it too. You know, most of it's very easy, especially for fighting. You know, it's just talking about the fight or answering a few questions. It's nothing too serious. You know, it's lucky enough I don't have to be in a suit and tie and talking very proper. You know, I can just kind of be myself and show people that I'm just a normal person too. You know, I'm just on a big stage fighting people. That's it.
Exactly. How much does it help? Your girlfriend is a UFC fighter, Tabatha Ricci. How much does it help to have somebody that you're so close with and understands the rhythm of a fighter and kind of what you go through and cutting weight and mentally building up to a fight and all that stuff? Does that give you a little advantage, you think, having somebody so close to you that fights?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, because both of us are fighting all the time. Like she fights on Saturday, so she was heavy in camp, and I'm heavy in camp for this fight. So we're both pushing each other. You know, and it helps a lot with someone that understands. You know, that you have to that like now. You know, I'm here in Dublin. You know, for 2 days doing media. So she's gone to Vegas for her fight week. I'm here in Dublin, and she understands. You know, that I have to do these things for my fight, and I understand that she has to do those things for her fight. You know, and in terms of diet, we're both on strict diets at the house. We're both pushing each other. If she trains an extra time than me, I'm thinking right now I need to go and train again. You know, and it's like I don't want her to train more than me, and she doesn't want me to train more than her. So we're constantly training and constantly thinking about fighting, and I think it helps a lot. You know, and just when you think of it, like I was really out in LA for the last year, just last since I've been there. You know, basically by myself. You know, so having someone else there now, it makes life a lot easier out there.
Last question about her. Tom promoted the Klitschko brothers, and Tom Loeffler, your promoter. And, one of the things I know when I talked to them when they were young fighters coming up, they wanted to be world champions at the same time. Have you and Tabatha talked about that? Kind of like, hey, would it be cool if, she could win a UFC title and you could win a boxing world title and both have belts at the same time?
Yeah, definitely. We've talked about that. That would be a very nice picture. You know, me with the WBC World Championship on this side and her with the UFC. And yeah, that is definitely one of our goals.
By the way, I should mention to you, let me show you this. Look at this. We got the WBC, baby.
That's the one, yeah.
And look who's on the WBC.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's cool. That's cool.
how about that? That's me.
That's cool. Yeah. That's very good.
So, anyways, let's wrap on this. One of the fights that I want to see at some point down the road is you against Xander Mayas. Xander Mayas is the top-ranked prospect. He's got a few more fights than you. He's a little bit younger than you. Do you follow his career at all? Because you were the two guys at that weight class that people talk about that think, can be elite fighters. Do you follow him at all? And do you feel like that's a fight that we may see, before too much longer down the road?
No, I don't follow his career at all. I want to be the best in the world, and to be the best in the world, I'm going to have to fight the best. And if he's one of the best, and I have to go through him to get to the top, I will. It doesn't matter to me who I fight. I'll show up, and I'll try my best, and all goes well, I'll win the fight, and I'll keep going.
All right. Well, on September 20th, he has a fight against Runowski. It'll be on UFC Fight Pass. Dana White says he's going to be there ringside in Dublin, Ireland, so you want to catch that. Callum Walsh, appreciate you, brother. Good luck to you.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Appreciate it.